You know, it's almost impossible to imagine today, but the most valuable company on the planet started with nothing more than a dream and a garage. Look at this incredible campus now. Everywhere you turn, people are connected, creating, and living their best lives because of one little idea that changed everything. It feels magical, doesn't it? Steve Jobs standing on stage, showing the world the future in the palm of his hand, the crowd absolutely losing their minds with excitement. But if we go way back, before any of this existed, there was just a quiet suburban street and one small garage with a light still on late at night. Inside that garage, two best friends, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, high-fived over their very first creation, hearts full of hope and big dreams. Woz was the genius tinkerer, soldering wires late into the night, completely lost in the joy of building something no one had ever seen before. And then Jobs would rush in, eyes sparkling, waving a simple business plan, convincing his friend that they could actually sell this thing. Night after night, they worked side by side, laughing, arguing, and believing they were onto something truly special. Finally, Woz held up the finished Apple I board, and in that moment, they both knew they had built something that could change the world. Jobs loaded the very first computers into his old van, heart pounding, ready to drive them to their very first customer. At the bite shop, the owner handed over a check, and just like that, their little hobby became a real business. Ronald Wayne joined them, and together the three signed the papers that officially started Apple Computer. They hung their new company sign on the garage door and stood back, proud, nervous, and so full of hope. Soon they were upgrading the design, adding color, making the computer even more magical than before. Families gathered around the Apple II, smiling, pointing, and realizing they were holding the future right in their living rooms. The little company outgrew the garage and they moved into their first real office, carrying boxes and big dreams with them. Then came the IPO, and suddenly these two young friends were millionaires, confetti falling as they laughed in disbelief. They brought in John Sculley to help run the growing company, hoping his experience would guide them to even greater heights. Jobs poured his heart into the Macintosh, inspiring the team with a vision so bold it felt revolutionary. They aired that unforgettable 1984 ad, and the whole world stopped to watch Apple's daring message. On launch day, Jobs unveiled the Macintosh, and the crowd cheered like they had just witnessed magic. But behind the scenes, tension grew between Jobs and Sculley until the boardroom felt like a storm about to break. In the end, the board sided against him and Steve Jobs was walked out of the company he had started. He left carrying a small box, heart heavy, wondering if everything he had built was truly over. Meanwhile, Apple struggled through the 90s, sales dropping, and the once vibrant company looking lost. But Jobs didn't give up. He poured his passion into Next, creating another beautiful black computer with fresh ideas. He also bought Pixar and watched it bring Toy Story to life, finding joy and success in storytelling. Back at Apple, things got so bad, the company was nearly bankrupt, executives desperately searching for a way out. Then, Apple bought Next, and suddenly the door opened for Steve to come back home. He walked back through those doors, and you could feel the hope return to the entire building. He launched the Think Different campaign, reminding everyone what Apple stood for deep down. Then came the colorful iMac, and people fell in love with Apple all over again. Customers rushed to stores, picking up the bright new machines, and the energy was back. Jobs stood in front of his team and inspired them to dream bigger than ever before. And just like that, Apple's incredible comeback had officially begun. The iPod arrived, tiny and white, and suddenly, everyone could carry 1,000 songs in their pocket. People danced down streets with white earbuds, smiling like the world had never sounded better. The iTunes Store opened and changed how the entire planet bought and listened to music forever. Jobs sketched his biggest idea yet, a phone that would combine everything into one perfect device. In 2007, he stepped on stage, slid the iPhone to unlock, and the world would never be the same. Overnight, iPhones were everywhere, changing how we talk, work, and stay connected to each other. The App Store exploded with creativity, and suddenly, anyone could build something beautiful. Then the iPad arrived, giving us a whole new way to read, draw, and experience the world. Apple stores opened in every major city, and the brand became a true global giant. Innovation after innovation kept coming, each one pushing the boundaries just a little further. Today, that same company stands taller than ever, the campus alive with the energy of thousands of dreamers. Steve Jobs may be gone, but his spirit, his vision, and his courage still live in every product we love. And we can't forget Wozniak, the brilliant mind whose genius made that first dream possible. From that tiny garage door all the way to this incredible empire, what a journey it has been. So the next time you pick up your phone, remember it all started with two friends, a garage, and the simple belief that they could change the world. And they did.